They call it the HP Elite Dragonfly G2, and in this video, let's unbox it. Now this is one of HP's thin and light laptops. I'm looking at this laptop for more of the graphic designer, artist, light video editor. This is not necessarily gonna be your 4K machine, but we're gonna check out the full benchmarks once we do the full review of this laptop. But for now, let's get into it because I'm really excited about this laptop for some of the build quality elements and of how thin and light this laptop is. So I'm really excited to dive in and check it out. This is gonna be something that will very actively compete against the Samsung Galaxy Book Pro 360. All right, so it's gonna be thin, light, on the go. It's gonna have a really very similar form factor. I mean, just look at how thin and light that laptop is. I'm really curious. I might do a full head-to-head review between these two laptops because they've got some great similarities. I love the feel of it. It feels solid. The tap test, as we've been joking, the official tap test here on the Benji Tech channel is definitely becoming one of consistency because I feel as if you all know how I feel when you pick up a laptop and it just feels hollow and cheap. This does not feel that way. It passes the tap test in my opinion. Let's go ahead and check out the build quality, the rounded edges, and how well everything fits into the side panels, bottom cover and side panels fit together. So right off the bat, I can tell that it's sunk in a little bit more than I would want it to right here on this edge. I don't know if you can see that there, but it sinks in a little more than I want, but it doesn't create a catchy edge, but it just sits down a little deeper than I would anticipate. And then as you make your way around to this corner, it kind of pulls back up to where it's a very nice flush seam where the bottom panel fits into the side panels very nicely. I like here around the hinge, there's no catchy edges here on the hinge. Sometimes when these laptops are put together, the hinge kind of buckles out and sticks out. It is not the case on this laptop. It looks really nice. We have a vent here along the back of the chassis, no vents along the side panels. But while we're looking at it, let's go ahead and check out the ports. We have our USB Type-A power port, Kensington lock, and what looks like should be a mini SD card slot, but for some reason, I haven't been able to get that open. So during the full review, we'll talk through that and make sure we know what that port is specifically. Now, coming over here, we have two USB Type-Cs, an HDMI port, and a headphone jack. So a nice amount of port selection. I like to see the HDMI port to kind of give that dedicated connectivity. So overall, I'm enjoying the package. And of course, we have our two speakers on the bottom cover and then a nice, pretty large vent for a small 13-inch laptop. So looking good so far. Let's go ahead, get this thing open, test out the open and close abilities of this laptop. I'm gonna pull this out here first. Grab it with one hand. Whoa, careful when you open it. A little bit of a sticky hinge. Let's try that again. So definitely a sticky hinge. You're gonna want to do a two-handed open for this laptop. Let's go ahead and close that back down. Let's grab that two-handed open. So it goes and then just hold your hand down there and it opens. So it's not a one-handed opener, but man, I'm liking the look of the keyboard deck here. But before we get into that, let's check out the screen flex. Ooh, minimal. I mean, that's one of the least amount of screen flex I've seen on a laptop. This nice, strong, rigid aluminum top cover really does well keeping that screen flex to almost nothing. That's great. Check down here at the bottom. A little bit at the bottom, push there in the center. And let's check here on the middle. And this thing is, it feels hard and strong. So it's a great aluminum laptop, good, thick, sturdy materials. It's not that chintzy, thin aluminum that we sometimes see on quite a few more budget-friendly laptops. This is more of a premium price point for the laptop. If you're curious about the exact pricing and availability, you can head down in the description below and click that link. Now remember, if you do make a purchase, I'll get a small commission, but at no extra cost to you. But of course, that's what keeps this channel alive and the helpful content coming your way. Let's swing it around and check out the keyboard deck. I like the keys. It's got a soft touch material. They're not too soft though. They're definitely, you can tell they're a plastic material, but it's more of a soft touch. It's got a nice, firm, snappy key press. I really feel that strong commitment. When I hit the key, it has a good response to it. Pretty positive. We have speakers there on the keyboard deck, which will create a great immersive audio experience. We have our fingerprint to unlock, but of course you don't have to use that. You can set up a passcode or have no password. Just click enter and sign right in. That's up to you. Let's go check out the trackpad. I like that trackpad. Let's go ahead and do a quick audio sample. It's got that nice, firm, almost like rubberized sound when you click it. It's not that loud click sound. It's a very nice, deep click, click, click. I like that a lot. It's a good sized trackpad. It is a 13-inch laptop. It's a little wider than it is taller for sure, as you can see there. I like the size of it being that this is a 13-inch laptop. Regarding function keys, we don't have a big variety, but of course we do have the up and down volume, brightness, print screen, airplane mode. And then we also have the ability to turn off and on the webcam straight from the keyboard deck. So that's nice to avoid the whole cyber spine situation. And then we have some small up and down arrow keys and then full size left and right arrow keys. And yes, a full size shift key. I'm so happy to have small arrow keys and keep the full size shift key. So good work on the keyboard setup for the EliteBook right here. I'm really digging the size of the charger block. It's a 65 watt-hour charger block. I love the braided cable. HP's bringing more quality to their peripherals that are included with the laptops. And I just think that's a nice touch, a really good, thoughtful design process. Not just throwing in some lousy, generic charger block. They've put more thought into these extras that actually do make a difference for the consumer, I believe. Now that we've got our USB-C plugged in, let's go ahead and see if we can get this thing turned on, and let's check out the interface. Let's see what kind of command center we have and see what options we're looking at here. First thing I noticed when jumping into the computer turned on is it seems very bright. I'm back and forth about glossy screens these days. If you're somebody who works outdoors a lot, I'd recommend going with more of a matte screen because the reflectiveness of the screen, it just becomes distracting. For instance, there's the light above me, the hair light that's there, and you can see that light, where if you had a matte screen, it would kind of diffuse the light a little more, be a little less distracting, but it's really splitting hairs and kind of just talking about preferences. Now, one thing that's cool about this laptop is it has Intel Graphics Command Center. So this allows you to have some good custom settings for your laptop to get the most power, performance, but then also battery and efficiency. So as you can see, you can come in here and edit some of the power settings. So I can turn off panel self-refresh, power display power saving, power efficiency, and I can lower the graphics quality to save power. So I can easily get more battery life out of this laptop coming in here messing with the settings. And I will mess with these settings in the full review to see where we can get the most battery life and to see how much performance this laptop also has. So we'll do both ends of the spectrum. And if you come into the display settings, you can actually come down here and make the refresh rate down to 40 frames per second. And this will actually, you can take the refresh rate down to 40, and so that'll give you better battery life. The screen is not refreshing so fast, and that helps with battery life as well. So there's just a lot of customization that can take place in this Intel Graphics Command Center. And this is all compliments of the Intel Evo Platform, and this has Core vPro, and this is an i5. So it'd be the 1135 G7, I think is the processor in this one. So I like the customization that they provide with this laptop. It gives some good flexibility for battery life and performance. Like I said, I'm excited to test that when we jump into the full review. The Dragonfly comes with a 56 watt-hour battery, and in the full review, we'll check out how much battery life that actually gives us. Now, do keep in mind, this is a 2-in-1 laptop, so you can quickly flip it over, use it on stand presentation mode, or turn it into a tablet. And of course, it is touchscreen, but the pen was not included in the model that I received. So make sure if you want a pen that you either order a pen or check if the certain listing that you're purchasing from comes with a pen. Just verify that so you don't think you're getting a pen and then it doesn't show up. The model I received did not come with a pen, so just keep that in mind. The build materials are fantastic. It's a good, thick, sturdy aluminum. I wish the assembly was a little bit better. Like I said, there were some edges where it wasn't as flush as I wish it would have been. But overall, this laptop is thin, light, and I'm looking forward to some great performance for such a small package. Links if you're ready to make a purchase, likes if this video has brought you some value, and subs if you don't miss out on the full review. I'll see you here in the next upload.